Hi, folks. Welcome to my humble homestead in the forest in Canada. And on this mostly overcast day, which is gorgeous, these are days to rest and do indoor work. But today, I have a hard time talking when I hear the songbirds sing, and while they've stopped. Today, I want to share with you a little bit that I know about iris, one of my favorite flowers. I love all flowers, but irises somehow seem so different. Um, you, I'll come back and I'll zoom in so you can see better how uh, they grow in succession. But they have this sort of a flat leaf, and in fact, for their medicinal uses, as I come to understand it, the First Nations use the they don't necessarily have roots. They have sort of like a, if you can imagine what ginger looks like, that sort of look, corms or rhizomes. They prefer, I don't know if they prefer, but they do well in and around sort of like ponds or stagnant water where they act as water purifiers. And as with sort of mimicking or I can't remember the exact name of it in naturopathic medicine. They you kind of do the like with like walnuts have a shape of brain, so that's like brain food, and dragon fruit because of its color, blood purifier. And this doesn't just purify the water that you drink, and because we're made of so much of our body is made up of water. It also purifies our waterways, like lymphatics, um, brain fog. If you have cleansing properties. Um, in I think in the Victorian times, when each flower had a meaning, was meant for a different thing, they stood for loyalty. They represented loyalty and purity, sort of a cleansing. Again, just as the name suggests. And they have, if you can see, I'll come and zoom it in. It's like they have three petals down and three petals up, just where the petals are not going down. The alternative, every okay, this is what I should have said. Every second petal goes up and down, up and down, up and down, characteristic of it. But it's just beautiful to look at from close up. Oh, by the way, I think a variation of this, or a drawing of this, is what is on the French flag, the fleur de lis. Fleur de lis is if you can you how can I describe what it looks like? If you ever see any of those anything any French flag or any sort of anything attributed to France, let me just come around and zoom in. You'll see that uh, what's on their flag, what represents France, sort of thing. It has this is iris, if I'm not mistaken. So let me just zoom in so you can see. Okay, so now do you see how they grow in succession? Um, there's so the one that's already bloomed, and there's another one here, and there's another one here. This is on the same plant. So what happens, as opposed to some other flowers where they drop their petals? What happens is that, my understanding is that, or from what I've seen, um, irises when they shrivel up, when the old petals dry, it sucks its nutrients back in, and puts it towards the new shoots, new flowers, new growth. That's just something that I think is fascinating to me. By the way, folks, when I talk about uh, medicinal uses of anything, I would tell you that I'm not a herbalist, I'm not a homeopath, I'm not a naturopath, although having attended in school, but I'm just a student and I love learning um, from thousands of years of history of using herbal medicine um, by Indians and First Nations and Chinese, Asians, and to me that it has more relevance and more um, value and uh, validity than Western medicine. So you do what you have to do, what works for you. But for me, I prefer um, this um, this kind of medicine.